So if you think you're having a bad day, this fella just lost 60 billion US dollars because a balloon made a tweet. 𝐎𝐓𝐇𝐄𝐑 Adani was the fourth richest man in the world 2 weeks ago, and now 30% of his wealth has been wiped out because of some mean tweets saying his mustache looks silly and his company is a complete fraud. Hindenburg research firm, a firm that's named after the Hindenburg disaster, has cast some damning light on the inner workings of this massive Indian corporation. The report is filled with accusations of deception and fraud. It's as if the very foundations of this empire have been shaken, and it's left onlookers and investors reeling in utter disbelief. Adani has been in recent years a champion of India. The man has been helping map India out on the world stage, putting India in the eyes of every investor as becoming the next China. But as the dust is settling from this report, many are beginning to question the true nature of this powerful business leader and the empire he has seemingly built. And being honest with you, if any of these foundations are seeming to be true, this could make Bernie Madoff's scam look absolutely minuscule. And as recently as September, this man's net worth was worth around about 140 billion US dollars. Mainly this was due to the enormous amounts of profits of 7 publicly traded companies that he is under control of. With such wealth at his disposal, it was no surprise that Adani set his sights on new acquisitions, expanding his empire to an Israeli port, a prominent Indian news network, and of course the country's second largest cement producer. Some would say that was concrete evidence that this man was on a path to greatness, and I'm sorry about that one. Many, including myself, was just onlooking, seeing how far this guy's reach would actually extend to. However, Adani and his conglomerate have recently fell on dark times because of this Hindenburg report. On the 24th of January, the report was released by Hindenburg Research, which is a young, audacious American investment firm known for causing the downfall of many companies it is actively shorting. Some of you might remember it was the company that put out a damning report on Nikola, the Tesla rival. They claimed that the prices of Adani's companies had been artificially inflated. Hindenburgers reportedly took a short position on the Adani Group, expecting to profit massively from the declining business value. But the Adani Group's chief financial officer, who I'm going to call Mr. Singh because I just cannot pronounce his first name, 𝐎𝐓𝐿, that's hopefully right. I'm sorry for even trying. But Mr. Singh was quick to respond, calling the report a malicious combination of selective misinformation, baseless and discredited allegations. It was said that it was there to undermine the upcoming share offering of the group's flagship firm, the Adani Enterprise. He further stated that Hindenburg had published the report without any attempt to verify the facts or contact the Adani Group. But according to Hindenburg, shares of the Adani Enterprises, which apparently positions itself as an incubator concentrating on building varied new enterprises, sells at 500 times its earnings. Among renewable energy companies, the Adani Green Energy has an unbelievable price to earnings ratio of 800 times price to earnings. Holy mother of Trevor Milton.
What?
For those watching who have no clue what this number actually means, to put it in context, the ratio of America's tech-savvy Nasdaq index was under 30 during the height of the pandemic, during the whole technology boom in 2021. Basically, you want this ratio as close to 1 as possible. Apple's PE ratio is currently around about 25, and this green energy company is currently at 800. I mean, what the actual fuck? But according to the research firm Hindenburg, these market valuations are just only part of the story. Hindenburg outlined a complicated organizational structure where several big parent companies have basically 578 subordinates. According to their years of research, these businesses have engaged in a total of 6,025 related party transactions in 2022 alone. And the structure is considerably more complicated than even I can comprehend. The study claims that the goal of Adani is to artificially inflate the market value of its listed firms and shares to transfer funds among them to basically preserve the illusion of financial health and solvency despite the levels of debt and limited capital assets. According to Mr. Singh, India's courts have tested and rejected these claims, but investors nonetheless are uneasy despite the resounding denials that Adani has put out in response. And as a result, Adani's empire is seemingly continuing to fall. Shares of 3 of the group's 7 listed firms, Adani Transmission, Adani Total Gas, and Adani Green Energy, have fell more than 20% on Friday just gone alone.
It's all good, man.
While Adani Enterprises is the core organization of Adani Group, it also saw its shares drop more than 18%. And the Bloomberg Billionaires Index still currently lists at recording Adani as Asia's richest man, with a net worth of 84 billion. But it's only 2 billion more than fellow Indian billionaire Mukesh Ambani. Though if Hindenburg's allegations do prove to be true and Adani's wealth continues falling, he may end up being the world's richest prisoner. Posting on Twitter, the relatively small research company in the States said, if Adani is serious about these legal allegations, it should also file a suit in the US where we operate. We have a long list of documents we would like to demand in a legal discovery process. In essence, Hindenburg just retaliated, saying the old English phrase, come and have a go if you think you're hard enough. It's reported that Adani has borrowed 30 billion US dollars to establish itself in industries like logistics, mining, and it is rapidly expanding into diverse sectors like media, data centers, airports, and even cement, concreting its financial future. Over the weekend, in response, Adani Group put out a plus 400 report saying that the Hindenburg's report was basically foundless and a calculated attack on India itself. Being honest with you, from a personal point of view, just rubbed me up the wrong way. We live in a world where when a person doesn't have a valid counter argument, they usually just shout racist or scream as if they're triggered. And this coming from a billionaire and his hundreds of lawyers and team, it's kind of pathetic. Just respond to the allegations. And Hindenburg seemingly agreed. They actually responded, we disagree. To be clear, we believe India is a vibrant democracy and an emerging superpower with a very exciting future. We also believe that India's future is being held back by the Adani Group. They continued, we also believe that fraud is fraud. And they continued finally with, the Adani response failed to specifically answer 62 out of our 88 questions. And of the questions it did answer, the group largely confirmed or attempted to sidestep our findings. And to rub salt in the wound, on Thursday, billionaire investor Bill Ackman joined into the controversy on Twitter, saying he believed Hindenburg's studies, claiming that they were a highly credible and extremely well-researched company. The Hindenburg report revealed that the long-standing pattern in the government's leniency towards the Adani Group is leaving investors, journalists, citizens, and politicians hesitant to question the actions of Adani and his group in fear of retaliation. It was as if a powerful spell had been cast, causing all to turn a blind eye on this business and anything to do with the Adanis, who are known to have ties with those in power. Those brave enough to speak out about Adani or attempt to uncover the truth were usually met with legal action and intimidation. It seems that it took a small firm, a David hailing from a distant land, to confront this towering Goliath. But what the fallout will be from this mighty giant potentially falling still remains to be seen. And if you think this story is mental, you should check this out, because there's a billionaire investor involved in 3 of the biggest scams Wall Street has seen in recent living years. I mean, surely there has to be more to this story. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.